Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. He's Mike Brenner. I'm Peter Loshak. We are the Odds Couple. We come to you from SportsbookReview.com. We are talking right now with David Purdum, betting writer for Chalk at ESPN. And, of course, Chalk is the betting and odds and sports gambling blog at ESPN. And right now we're going to talk about Super Bowl futures odds.
You know,
of course,
Dave's from my neck of woods in there in Georgia, up in Dawsonville, Georgia.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Of course, today is Tuesday, January 3rd. And so the futures odds, the seedings are all set. And the futures odds are out. But of course, futures bets have been made throughout the season on teams to win the Super Bowl, to win the AFC and the NFC. Dave Purdum, thanks for being back with us. And before we just say hi to you before I run down the current odds to win the Super Bowl.
Thanks for having me, guys. Happy New Year.
All right.
Happy
sounds
New
good.
Year to you, too, Dave.
So the favorite, of course, is the Pats. Mike Brenner, do you know what the odds are right now of the Pats to win the Super Bowl?
I don't know right now, but whatever that number is, it's just too low.
You think so? Maybe it's about 2-1, a little bit less than 2-1. Although obviously futures odds can vary, significantly from book to book. So if you shop around, you can probably find higher than 2-1. But right now, it's about 2-1. The second choice is Dallas, which is 4-1. 4-1. Then you got four teams bunched up around 9-1 or 10-1. That's Pittsburgh, Green Bay, Atlanta, and KC. Then Seattle right behind them at 11-1. And then everyone else is 20-1 or higher. The Giants, Texas, the Lions, the Raiders, and Miami. Of course, the Raiders with the injury right now I'm seeing at about 100-1, which I don't know.
I don't know. And it seems like one of those years where the Giants, even though they're going up against a machine, I don't think it's going to happen. But like years past, the two other Super Bowls they won, it was quietly, perfectly set up just like this as far as future-wise. Nobody gave them a chance back then either.
All right. Yeah, so David Purdum, obviously, I'm sure that the Pats have taken a ton of money to win Super Bowl 51 over the course of the year. Have they taken the most money out of all these teams?
Yeah, in Las Vegas, multiple books said that the Patriots have attracted the most money. Not unusual, of course, them being the betting favorite. I see them as low as 7-5 in Vegas to win the Super Bowl right now. Yeah. So, they attract the bigger bets, but the most bets is on the Green Bay Packers, which is quite surprising. They had a stretch, I believe, 4 straight losses during the middle of the season before they kind of turned it around, and they dropped all the way down to 80-1 at one point during the season. So they attracted a lot of attention throughout the year in Las Vegas. So the Packers are kind of a team to watch for the books.
Yeah, so most of those people, right now the odds are about 9-1, 10-1 on the Packers. Most of those people got much, much better odds than that, betting them during the regular season.
And
right?
a lot of people probably ran to the window all year long as well as Dallas kept that momentum going, with Prescott and Elliott. But what were the odds in the beginning of the season for Dallas is what I was wondering.
I don't know. I'm sure they were much, much worse. Probably around 15-1 or so. What were they, David? Do you know?
They were at 15-1 when Romo got hurt in the first preseason game. I think they dropped all the way back about to 25, 30-1.
Wow.
Somewhere around in that range and have been on the move all the way up. They're 4-1, I think, like you guys said, in Las Vegas. That's a little short for me, in my opinion. I'm not quite sure that's a good enough price. I think some of the prices that I was really kind of looking at, I like Kansas City at 10-1.
Yeah.
Get a home field game, then have to go probably to Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, play the Patriots. But getting them now at 10-1, maybe you can hedge a little bit on the Patriots at a shorter price than 10-1.
Yeah, I don't know. It's anytime you're betting on a team to beat the Pats in the playoffs. I mean, I know I'm being super square here, but it's just no matter what the odds are, it makes me feel very, very nervous.
Yeah, and it's, analytics, trends, stats, this is that year. It's all out the window. I saw it last week when Brady ran out of the tunnel, all right, with a chip on his shoulder the size of Idaho. Nobody could stop it. Everybody said I was crazy for being on New England. They manhandled them Dolphins. It was men against boys, and I'm just telling you that's going to continue because, it's not looking good for anybody else.
All right, well, we just talked with David Purdum about, big long shots in 2016. I don't know. What do you think about the Raiders 100-1? Obviously, the reason there's such a huge dog here is because of the quarterback situation. But other than that, they're still the same team that was very good over most of the season. Do you think that, first of all, do they have a shot? And they're going to take some action at 100-1, right, David?
I think so. They always generate a little bit of action in Las Vegas, especially now that the rumors that they may be Las Vegas's NFL franchise in the future. But their quarterback issues are significant, obviously. We don't even know if the second string McGloin is going to play this year. He's got to play this week against Houston. He's got a shoulder problem. Rookie Connor Cook, he played all right last week, but going into a Houston team, it's pretty good defensively. 7-1 at home, I believe, are the Texans. So they're the favorites, given about 3.5. That line did tick up a little bit after the number came out. But that's a tough call for the Raiders. If they were to get past Houston, I can't see them getting much further.
Yeah, and I would ask anybody to please stop if you're even thinking about doing it. Because one thing, honestly, that's just as big, if not bigger, than their quarterback situation is last week also the true defense that they've had all year was revealed. Anybody and their mother can score on this team, and with now you have no offensive vocal leader. Yeah, they say Carr is still trying to pump his team up, but that makes a huge difference in the huddle as opposed to on the sidelines, not in uniform. That team is in trouble. Houston's going to beat them, even with Brock Osweiler, a guy that I do not back whatsoever. But that's the true reality of what's happening in Oakland, because even if Derek Carr was there, his team's in some trouble.
All right. Let's ask David Purdum an open-ended question about Super Bowl futures odds. Is there anything else that you just have on your mind that you think might be interesting to share with us about current futures odds to win the Super Bowl or to win the AFC or NFC?
I kind of, here in Georgia, everybody's pretty fired up about the Falcons.
And why not? Why not? Matty Ice is back.
Matty Ice is playing very well. Julio Jones is great. A lot of concern about the defense, though. I was kind of looking at some statistics today. They are giving up touchdowns at 70% rate inside the red zone. I always kind of look at red zone stats pretty heavily during the playoffs. And when you're giving up a touchdown 7 out of 10 times into the red zone, that's definitely a concern. And again, I go back to the Chiefs. I think that they have overall both sides of the ball and special teams very solid. Tyreek Hill has kind of emerged as a very dangerous weapon. Got to home game in the first round, got the bye. I do definitely kind of see them being in the AFC Championship game. They're going to be a significant dog to the Patriots, but right now at 10-1, gosh, you're getting pretty good odds right now for them only to have to win one game, go to New England, and then you have a chance to work off those 10-1 odds a little bit.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it feels a little bit more wide open than normal for the Super Bowl. I mean, usually it's like there's 2 or 3 like really strong teams, and you know that it's probably going to be 2 of those teams, in the Super Bowl. But here,
what's missing this year that a lot of people aren't talking about, but deep down we realize it when we think about it. What is missing, it's the first year that there's no shot at Peyton Manning going up against Brady. This is the first year that Peyton Manning, whatever team he's on, is not in the odds. And that makes a big, big difference because all of a sudden we realize he's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. So, all these teams could, the Steelers, they have a legitimate shot, right? The Packers, of course, a legitimate shot. The Falcons certainly have a legitimate shot. The
and
Chiefs,
speaking of the Falcons, I just want to chime in. Dan Quinn, I read an article 2 days ago. He said he did, this is experience for him as far as, with coaching, coming from Seattle, defensive mind. He said, I thought I could sculpt a defense a little bit quicker than I did with the talent that I had. I'm finding out I still am lacking a few pieces, but staying confident. And he said, I'm grateful that our offense has stepped it up and took over for us. So with that being said, I still like the direction that organization is going.
All right, maybe the Falcons are the team with value. David, let's just David Purdum. We know you're not a professional handicapper. That's not where you. That's not your professional, your area of professional pride. But if you had to make a bet right now on one of these teams to win the Super Bowl at the current odds, what would it be? Would it be the Chiefs at 10-1?
Yeah, definitely. I think I would take the Chiefs, and then I might take the Falcons too. I do think Dallas is a very solid overall. I think their defense, everybody kind of talks about down on the defense. I think it's been, better than expected, and I think they are pretty well coached this year. But the Falcons just have so much offense. A team that I'm kind of fading is Seattle.
That's fade city.
Without Earl Thomas being there, I think they have not recovered. In fact, I kind of like the Lions this week to go in there and give them all they want, getting 7-8 points. I think that's too many there.
I love that one too.
All right, the Lions are 70-1. The Seahawks are just 11-1 to win the Super Bowl.
You better look out for the Lions. Woo!
All right, David Purdum from Chalk from ESPN. Thanks so much for talking with us. We'll see how all this turns out and which tickets wind up cashing.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.